My wife, she will tell the story. We went on our first date and we had a wonderful first date. And on our second date, a few nights later, I turned up half in the bag. And she now recognizes what a warning sign that was. Like, if you were so interested in me and still at that point, trying to impress somebody, that you thought it was more important or as important to turn up half in the bag. So I went along and I still pretty much drank. I did. I drank every day. I drank beer every day. On some days, it was only 2 or 3, or other days it was 7 or 8, but it was constant. Within a year of marriage, my wife recognized that I had a problem, and she threatened to leave me at that time. And as I was capable of doing, no, she came back, and there was times where I could go like 3 to 6 months without drinking. So I would do that, and all would be well. And in this one particular instance, I think I'd gone about 6 months, and I was doing actually pretty well. And it was my wife, or ex-wife, sorry, that said to me, you've done really well. I think you've proven that you can control your drinking. Why don't you have a couple of beers and we'll go out for dinner tonight, right? Bingo. Now I've got free license to drink, so now I've become sneakier, start hiding stuff. She's okay with me having 2, 3 beers, but meanwhile in the garage, there's beer heading all over the place in areas where I know she would never look. I now know why I drank, and I got into sales, and I had no self-worth, no self-confidence, paranoid about what other people thought about me, complete fear of rejection. And think about it, like, salespeople better be pretty good at rejection, because you get way more rejection than you do acceptance. But I overcame that by basically I drank every day, and it was like I was always lubricated, and I'm sure always impaired. If you breathalyzed me at 8 o'clock in the morning, it was still there from the night before. And in sales, there were very, very few days where I would work past beyond 1 o'clock. And I worked with a fellow alcoholic, and he said to me, get in here early if you have to, get your work done in the morning. Don't waste your time in the morning, make a good time, make your money, and then we're done by 1 o'clock. And I followed his example and worked like that for years. Eventually, I became careless, and my wife had enough. Basically, we were living apart in the same house, so I carried on with working and drinking every day and not caring. But I reached a point where my sales, were starting to, I wasn't making the same money, because half the time I couldn't even get out of bed, or just think, no, screw it for today. I'll work extra hard tomorrow. Tomorrow would come, and I made my alcoholism, made me unemployable. I tried everything under the sun to quit drinking. Or control my drinking. Basically, when I drank, and I've learned this now, is social drinkers or casual drinkers, they have an on-off switch. They can go out, have a couple of beers, and that's it, turn it off. When I drank, my on switch was full on. So I tried everything to quit drinking, nothing worked, and it was just shortly after I'd split up with my wife. I found myself, I had spent the last of the money that I had when we split up, and basically I was homeless. I had no place to turn, and I knew somebody that I used to drink with. In fact, we used to laugh at him, because all of a sudden we drank with him for years and he disappeared. Where is he? Oh, he went to AA to get sober. So that was stuck in my mind. We never saw him, but we're the drunks are making fun of him. Can you believe how bad his life is? Like, he's sitting there with all those lunatics in AA, right? Not that any of us had ever been to a meeting, right? Yeah, AA was, I thought, you know what, he's been in there a couple of years. Maybe I should go check it out. And I went, and I think it was my second meeting. I ran into him, and I talked with him at great length. And basically, I sat with him in meetings. I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these sober people, and they're laughing and joking and having a great time. And I'm thinking, what, now I'm thinking there's really something wrong with these people. But I realized they weren't drunks anymore. They were sober people, just living a normal life, trying to help each other to stay sober. And I couldn't believe it, and I didn't, and I'm still thinking what a bunch of freaks you people are. But my sponsor asked me to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. And I immediately said to him, I don't know if I can commit to going to 90 AA meetings in 90 days. And he said to me, but you've already told me you committed the last 20 or 30 years of your life to drinking absolutely every single day. And now you're too busy. You're telling me you want to get sober, but you can't find the time to go to an AA meeting for 1 hour a day. And he was full of wisdom, and it made me think. That's the whole thing. The people in AA, they make us thinking, and it is. It's like, no, I don't have time for that. Are you kidding me? I'll go to 1 or 2 a week. And then I'm thinking, no, I replaced the drinking every day with going to a meeting every day, and maybe this will work. And bit by bit, it did work. I went to the meetings, I read the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I had my sponsor who went through the 12 steps. And I was basically, he asked me to be open-minded about everything and do as he suggested. He didn't tell me to do anything. He would say, here's what I did. Why don't you try it? Here, and he had all these comparisons. Here's what I did, or I'd meet other people and they tell me, like, I did this. And within 3 months, something magical happened to me, because I went from years, most of my life, I woke up in the morning and my first thought was, what time am I going to start drinking today? That was before anything else. It was like, yep, I got to do this, and I'll be in that pub by 2, or that one that was my first thought. And that was, as I now know, it was my obsession to drink. I was obsessed with it. My first thought of the day. My brain was going 5,000 miles an hour because I'm trying to manage all this stuff that's going on in my life, who I owe money to, and I've come in and I've learned to control my thoughts. I've learned to control my emotions primarily, and use logical thinking, where for years my emotions ran my life. And they still do. I love I'm a very emotional person, but they don't overrule my logic. One of the reasons that I'm still sober, and this is one thing that people with long-term sobriety all seem to achieve, and it was taught to me by my sponsor early on, as soon as you gain knowledge on how to get sober, help other people. And if you help others, you will stay sober. And that, my longevity, that I put it down to that. And we look around at the world it's in, like I try and help anybody. You don't have to be alcoholic or, an addict. If you need help and I think I can, offer you some support, I will. And I was just out for a walk this morning, lovely morning here in Harlow, and there's an exhibit set up in the water gardens. And I looked, just wandering through, and I saw the big sign, Essex Recovery. And as I say, I like to help other people. And I'm always, there's still so much, I've learned a lot, but there's still so much more I can learn. And I thought, well, just stop by and chat with the people here. And that's when I met Joe. And basically, she just gave me, a background, and it sounds exciting. She's enthusiastic about what she's doing, and hopefully, we're on the right track of getting the proper health, the proper help for those that need it. It's been a bit of a blur, but no, the information and the help and the support is available through them, and the biggest thing for any addict is putting your hand out and saying, please, I need help. I can't do this anymore.